Alan Grayson from Florida.
Thank you. General Dempsey, do Syria and Hezbollah have the means to launch a counterattack against U.S. vessels in the Mediterranean, the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, and Israel?
Our maritime assets are positioned such that there are no capabilities that can threaten them. Embassies, of course, are a fixed resource and are always subject to terrorist attack. That remains true today as it has for the last 10 years, and we've taken steps to mitigate that risk.
And Israel?
Israel, you may be aware, is actually anticipating some action, gone to a state of high alert, called reserves up, taken a lot of measures. And by the way, we partner with Israel very closely on the defense of Israel.
Would you say that a counterattack is more likely than not?
No, I don't think I can say that. Actually, but you know, without signaling the Syrian regime in some way, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't come to that conclusion.
Secretary Kerry, have members of the Syrian opposition called for such an attack? And if so, whom?
Not specifically that I know of. Have they? They support it, apparently, but they've not advocated to me. I've had conversations with the president of the opposition, and there was no pleading or urging to do this.
In fact, haven't members of the Syrian opposition said they don't want an attack? Isn't that true?
No, I have not heard that.
You haven't seen the public reports to that effect?
No.
All right, Secretary Kerry, there are 189 signers of the Chemical Weapons Convention. Syria does not happen to be one of them. How many of those signatories have pledged to participate in the military intervention in Syria, and what exactly has each one pledged to do?
There are at least 10 countries that have pledged to participate. We have actually not sought more for participation. We have sought people for support, and there are many more, obviously, that support. But I think I should let the general speak the question. You know, I said earlier, there really is a limit for this kind of an operation as to how many you want to participate. You want support, but just physically, the management of it, the technical capacity and other issues are critical. And General, perhaps you want to say something.
Actually, Congressman, I apologize. I was writing down your first question. What was the question about partners?
Of the 189 signatories to the Chemical Weapons Convention, right, how many of them have pledged to participate in a military attack on Syria, and what have they pledged to do?
Well, I don't have the final answer to that question. Commander U.S. CENTCOM is actually militarily conducting most of the outreach. And we have, you know, agreement to assist in many different ways, some of which wouldn't be appropriate to speak about in an unclassified setting.
Secretary Hagel, will the military action in Syria, if it does take place, require a supplemental appropriation? And if you think not, then will you commit to that now?
Well, it depends on the option that the President would select. I have said that we will work with the Congress on whatever the cost of that is. Thank you.
Secretary Hagel, there's been a report in the media that the administration has mischaracterized post-attack Syrian military communications, and that these communications actually express surprise about the attack. This is a very serious charge. Can you please release the original transcripts so that the American people can make their own judgment about that important issue?
What transcripts are you referring to?
The transcripts that were reported that took place after the attack, in which the government has suggested that they confirmed the existence of an attack, but actually it's been reported that Syrian commanders expressed surprise about the attack having taken place, not confirmed it.
Well, that's probably classified. Congressman, I'd have to go back and review exactly what you're referring to.
Well, you will agree that it's important that the administration not mislead the public in any way about these reports, won't you?
Well, of course, but I'm not aware of the administration misleading the American public on this issue or any other issue.
Will you agree that the only way to put that matter to rest is to release the original reports in some redacted form?
Well, I'm not going to agree to anything until I see it and I understand better what it is, but most likely it's classified.
I understand that. I'm asking, will you declassify it for this purpose?
I just gave you my answer. I have no idea what exactly you're talking about. I'd have to go back and look at it. I'd have to confer with others, our intelligence community. That's all I can tell you now. Thank you.
Tom Cotton of Arkansas.